Coralville City Council to order on October 25th, 2022. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Knudsen?
Here.
Gross?
Here.
Quinn?
Present.
Jones?
Here.
Goodrich?
Here.
All council members are present, as is the mayor, the city clerk, the city attorney, the city administrator, and several other staff in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Jones, seconded by Goodrich. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. On to item number 4. We have a very special presentation. With us tonight, we have a staff member from the Iowa League of Cities, Alan Kemp, and he is here to present our very own State Senator Zach Wahls with the Iowa League of Cities Legislative Service Award. Take it away, Alan.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for inviting us to this meeting this evening. I'm Alan Kemp. I'm the Executive Director for the Iowa League of Cities. The Iowa League of Cities Legislative Service Award was established in 2010 and recognizes elected state officials who have made extraordinary efforts on behalf of cities during their tenure as a legislator, and specifically during the preceding legislative session. The Legislative Service Award recipients have demonstrated their willingness to not only engage but also lead the way for Iowa cities. At the August Executive Board meeting, the League of Cities voted to award Senator Zach Wahls with the Iowa League of Cities Legislative Service Award. As noted in the materials presented to the board, this is for his consistent support of local government. Senator Wahls regularly meets with city members in his district as well as league staff. Additionally, Senator Wahls included a mayor and league board member in his steering committee before he ran for public office. Senator Wahls also regularly speaks in favor of local control on the Senate floor and often defends local governments and highlights city values. As an organization, we often tell our city officials that to be truly effective advocates, they need to establish a positive and ongoing relationship with their elected officials. Getting to know your elected officials, even before the session begins, can build this level of trust and understanding. And while we can't expect our elected officials to always vote the way we want, we do appreciate the fact that they will listen and understand our concerns and insights. And that is what this award is intended to recognize. And so Senator Wahls does display all of those. And so we just want to recognize him and present him with this award.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, it's fantastic to be back here in front of the Coralville City Council to receive this honor. Thank you so much to Alan and everyone at the League for the Legislative Service Award. I promise, as long as I'm a state senator, to continue to fight for home rule and local control. It is also fantastic to be here with so many friends on the Coralville City Council. Mayor Foster, congratulations. I think this is my first time in front of this body since you became the mayor. Councilor Knudsen and Councilor Jones, great to see you again, and congratulations on your service as well. I will say just very briefly, I do want to say that local control is under attack in the state of Iowa right now. We are a state that was a pioneer on home rule, and we are seeing that home rule authority being diminished here in our state. The reality is that there are cities and towns across Iowa that have innovative ideas about how to move their communities forward, and there are some people in Des Moines who are trying to prevent that from happening. As long as I'm a legislator, and if I ever have the honor of serving as the majority leader, I promise to continue to lead in a way that will empower local governments to best serve their constituents. I have always been a big fan of local government, which is part of why I was so eager to have the input of local city council officials. On my campaign, when I first decided to run for the state senate, one of the very first policy meetings we had was with City Administrator Kelly Hayworth at his office, where we talked about the issues facing Coralville, including things like affordable housing and the need for continued access to services like parks and recreation. In fact, the Parks and Rec theme song from the TV show is actually my ringtone on my cell phone, and I plan to keep it that way for a long time to come. So again, I want to thank the League for this honor. I want to thank everybody in this room who works in local government for all the work that they do for the constituents, both here in Coralville and across this great Senate district. And again, just really grateful for this honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Alan and Senator Wahls, and I just want to say that I think I speak for everyone up here when I say that, you know, we truly appreciate your hard work. We are very, very fortunate to have you as a partner in the state legislature, and you're absolutely right. It is a challenging time right now for local government. And the decisions that happen in Des Moines have a direct impact on the work that we do. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with constituents when I've had to say this is it's impacting us locally, but it's a decision that's made at the state level. So having those relationships and having someone in Des Moines that really advocates on behalf of home rule is absolutely crucial for the work that we do. So we appreciate you and your service. Shall we take a photo up here? All right. Right there.
Okay. Facing which direction?
That way.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, on to item number 5, time for community comments. This is the time for community members to speak to us about items that aren't on the agenda or items that are on the agenda but are not subject to a public hearing. Each speaker will have 5 minutes, and we do reserve the right to adjust both the individual comment time and the overall speaking time based on the number of speakers or any accommodations that a speaker might need. So is there anyone that would like to speak to us this evening? Okay, then we will move on to item number 6. Item number 6 is a public hearing for the Iowa River Landing retail lease agreement. This is for Coffee Emporium LLC, and they wish to enter into a 5-year Iowa River Landing retail lease agreement for the space at 925 East 2nd Avenue in the Iowa River Landing District. Right, I will now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone that would like to speak to us on this? Are there any written comments? Okay. I'll now close the public hearing, and we will consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the disposition of property and approving a lease agreement with Coffee Emporium LLC, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knudsen,
Seconded by Gross. Any questions or discussion on this item?
So it's new owners, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
They're purchasing it and keeping it, the name and everything else.
Okay. And did we ever figure out like the whole, when the machines and the capital were?
Yes, all that's taken care of.
Good, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Gross.
Aye.
Quinn. Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knudsen.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 7, Hyatt Regency in Coralville Fitness Center and Office Alterations. This is a public hearing for the renovation of the fitness space at the Hyatt Regency Hotel here in Coralville. I will now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone that would like to speak to us? Are there any written comments?
No.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing, and then we will consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the plan specifications, estimate of cost, and form of contract, ordering bids, setting a date for the receiving of bids, and directing posting of the bid letting all for the Hyatt Regency Fitness Center and Office Alterations, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Nguyen. Any questions or comments on this item? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wynn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knudsen.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 8, Clear Creek Amana New Elementary School. This is a public hearing for a rezoning to a commercial planned unit development 2 district. And this will allow the Clear Creek Amana Community School District to build a new elementary school in the West Land Use area. And we have several steps to this agenda item, the first of which is a community development report from Dave Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. This property is currently designated as public and semi-public on the community plan land use map. This designation does support public and semi-public land uses such as schools. This property is located in the West Land Use area, which encompasses much of the northwest growth area described in the community plan. And much of this area is also planned for residential uses as well as walkable commercial uses. The property's land use designation was recently changed from corporate campus to residential to semi-public because it was recognized the important role that this school will play in helping to support the residential development in this area. This school is also serving as a neighborhood amenity as well by offering before and after school care, and the parks and open spaces on the exterior will also be available to the public to use. For these reasons, the proposed CPUD2 rezoning can be considered consistent with the Coralville land use plan map, public, semi-public designation, as well as our efforts to further positive development in the West land use area. The proposed school can also be considered consistent with the relevant building and site design guidelines in the West Land Use Area Master Plan. And the Planning and Zoning Commission did review this at their August 10th meeting, and by a vote of 5-0, the Commission recommended to rezone this parcel from R1 Single Family Residential District to the CPUD2 Commercial Planned Unit Development 2 District, as well as the proposed PUDB site plan. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I will now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone that would like to speak to us about this? Are there any written comments?
No written comment.
Okay, I'll now close the public hearing, and then we will consider the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2022-1013, an ordinance amending the Coralville zoning ordinance, the same being ordinance number 2020-1009 as previously amended, rezoning certain property located within the corporate limits of the city of Coralville, Johnson County, Iowa, and generally known as parcel number 0626401003 from R1 Single Family Residential District to CPUD2 Commercial Planned Unit Development 2 District, introduced for adoption, first consideration by Councilmember Wynn, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Jones. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its first consideration, all ayes. Item number 9, Forevergreen Heights. This amended preliminary plat will extend Craven Drive through to Scanlon Farms Road and plat Phase 2, Parts 2 and 3, and Phase 3, Part 4 as outlots. We have different unit types and development options are under consideration. And we have another community development report from Dave Johnson on this.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have too much more to add than what you already explained. I would just note that the proposed preliminary plat does conform with the requirements for preparation and filing in city code. And the Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed this at their October 5th meeting, and by a vote of 5-0, the commission recommended approval of the preliminary plat.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution approving the amended preliminary plat for Forevergreen Heights, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Jones, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Questions or discussion on this item?
Sounded like there are plans to reevaluate some subsequent areas here in terms of the sizes and or the
I think the only areas that are currently under reconsideration are these areas here in white.
oh, way out there.
Yeah, these areas actually in the original preliminary plat were for duplexes and townhome development. And I believe that may be under reconsideration. And I don't know, Matt, if there's anything you wanted to add or explain further?
I would just say that we did have those laid out as town.
Apologies. We did have those laid out for townhouses and duplexes, and we intend to proceed at this point with townhouses and duplexes consistent with the PUDA plan that's been approved by council. We are just taking a look at what type of duplexes and townhouses might go on there, because there's many different varieties, and we're trying to zero in on the exact builder and what they're going to build, and we'll be submitting those proposals at some point to the development review team. But otherwise, the main change in this plat was the density didn't change from what was approved. What changed was we just pushed Craven Drive all the way through and added a few more single-family lots, took away some of the duplex townhouse stuff, but it would flow better with this, in my opinion.
So we're still looking at an average density of 4.8 dwelling units per acre, so that does not change, and the use types generally do not change.
And Matt, how many single units did you add and how many duplex did you take out?
I meant to have that information, Mitch, I just don't have it
Okay.
with me. Dave, you might, I had, maybe,
Top of mind, I do not.
I
But those areas will be exclusively townhomes and duplexes, no single.
yes, correct. As of now, there'll be townhouses and duplexes in some form. We don't anticipate any more single-family houses other than what's been currently done.
Great. Any other questions?
Yeah, we've been, as staff, been very pleased with the mix of uses here and some of the changes that Matt and his partners have done with the roads and the access points, because that, we have excellent circulation in this subdivision.
And extending Craven Drive is going to improve the traffic circulation in the development, so we're very pleased about that.
Great. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 10, Colony Fen Erosion and Dewatering Correction Project. This is for correcting gullies and erosion, stopping dewatering, and providing a plan for restoring native vegetation for the fens located on the former Colony property. And we will start this agenda item with a bid report from Amy Foster, our Stormwater Manager.
I thought I'd just bring up a map reminding you kind of where the project's at. So we talked about this a few weeks ago. We've received some federal funding through the American Rescue Plan Act to do some stormwater work or wetland recreation and erosion repair at the Colony Fen property. So when you can see Coral Ridge Avenue here and the interstate, the blue line that goes down through is one of the major drainage ways that drains the west land use, and then these two stars are where we're going to do our work at. In essence, the area is very unique, wonderful wetlands, and they have gullies that are going through them, and the gullies are causing them to drain out, and that's why we use the word dewatering in the title. So this project is to repair that. So we published bids September 27th and closed them October 18th. We received 4 proposals. Lowest proposal was for $137,650, and our highest is $197,200. Our lowest bid is for Triple B Construction, and we called their references and got good references from them. So we would recommend at this time that we accept that proposal.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. Okay, we have 2 resolutions here. Let's start with the first one.
Resolution accepting bids and awarding the contract for the Colony Fen Erosion and Dewatering Correction Project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second?
Seconded by Gross. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item?
Good to see a bid come under our estimate for once.
It's rare, it's a rare occurrence these days, but yes, it is a welcome thing. Okay. Could I get the roll call, please?
Councilmember Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. We have our second resolution. Could I have that one read, please?
Resolution approving the contract and bond documents for the Colony Fin Erosion and Dewatering Correction Project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Quinn. Questions or comments on this item? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 11, Fourth Avenue Place demolition. This is for the demolition of vacant structures and tree removal on a city-owned property, 614 and 614 and a half Fourth Avenue Place. Could I have the quotation report for this item?
Yes, we solicited bids from 3 companies, and all 3 companies returned the bids. The lowest bid was from Freeman Construction for $10,700. This was to remove the duplex, and there was one tree that's kind of leaning against the building if you go look at it. And then that will open up that lot for reconstruction. The highest bid was $22,500, so there was a large gap on those. If you remember across the street, Freeman Construction was also the one who did the demolition and the tree removal at 4th Avenue Place. So they're familiar with this area, and I did a pretty good job on the area to the north. So we'd recommend that the contract be awarded to Freeman Construction.
Okay, great. Thank you for that overview. Okay, could I have the resolution?
Resolution accepting quotations and approving a demolition agreement for the demolition and tree removal at 614 and 614 and a half 4th Avenue, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
That was like perfectly in unison. Seconded by Goodrich. Questions or comments on this one? Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Wynn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 12, parcel south of Oakdale Boulevard and west of Jones Boulevard. This is a request by the Oaks Family Partnership that would change the land use map for a 25.64 acre property located in the west land use area. And that would change to medium residential use in order to allow a residential townhome development. This is the third consideration of this ordinance. Could I have the ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 2022-1012, an ordinance amending the Coralville Community Plan to reflect certain property generally known as 25.64 acre parcel south of Oakdale Boulevard and west of Jones Boulevard in the West Land Use Area, Coralville, Iowa, to be designated medium-density residential use in place of mixed use and corporate campus use, introduced for adoption and third and final consideration by Councilmember Wynn, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Knutson. Any questions or comments on this one? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its third and final consideration, all ayes. Item number 13, professional services agreement. This agreement is for completing wetland delineation and a threatened or endangered species preliminary survey and providing regulatory coordination for an approximately 137 acre area on the proposed West Land Use Central Trunk Sewer Project. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution approving a professional services agreement with Impact 7G for West Land Use Central Trunk Sewer, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Jones, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Questions or comments on this item? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Goodrich,
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 14, Ridgeview Part 1. This will accept the public improvements in Ridgeview Part 1, except for sidewalks. An escrow has been submitted for the incomplete landscaping, seating, and biocells construction. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution accepting public improvements for Ridgeview Part 1, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by City Administrator Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Jones. Questions or discussion on this item? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Resolution.
Laura, you got a promotion.
We'll just call him Don Biden.
Ooh, that really hurt him.
So, this resolution was approved, all ayes. Okay. Item 15, I would entertain,
Ms. Mayor?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. We
You
have a
bet.
couple corrections on this one I want to read to you.
fantastic, go
So-
for it.
So the, in item A, the final pay amount will be $193,688.96.
Can you say that again?
Sure, 193,688.96. And then, so that makes the retainage amount, which will be which is in item B, the resolution, $10,194.16.
Gotcha.
10194.16.
0.6 or point
Point
one?
16.
1/6, okay, good, all right. Thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you.
And with that, this is the 9th Street Pavement Repair, 2022. I would entertain a motion to approve pay estimate 1 final to LL Pelling, Inc. for the 9th Street Pavement Repair Project, 2022, for $193,688.96.
So moved.
Moved by Gross, seconded by
Second.
Nguyen. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion is approved. Item B, could I have that resolution, please?
Resolution accepting the 9th Street pavement repair 2022 as completed, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Questions on this item?
Thought it looked great.
It does, yeah.
Fabulous. All right, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 16, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
May I ask council to consider a motion to approve consent calendar as presented, A to S?
Okay, moved by Nguyen, seconded by Jones. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Consent calendar is approved, all ayes. Item number 17, City Administrator's Report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of items. First of all, I just wanted to let everybody know there's a lot of activity happening in the West Land Use area with the woodlands and park area in that area. Today, we closed on the last purchase of the property from the Colony family as part of that REAP grant. We obviously, earlier, you did the fin work, which is approved the fin work, which will be another restoration work. And then we received, our Park and Rec Director, Sherry Proud, wrote another REAP grant for that area, and that was the #1 ranked grant in the state of Iowa. And you want to just tell people what that's about?
Yes, the REAP grant that we submitted this year for our 2022 grant was for timber stand improvements. So we've done one of these before. We approved about 4 years ago. We did one that was in the Auburn East area, and down into the Stables Basin and a little bit along Clear Creek, in the Clear Creek Greenbelt. So what this will do, will go in and address the undesirable invasive species, understory, I don't even want to say trees, because it's like crawling through that area. You've got multiflora rose, honeysuckle, briars, just so many things that reach out and grab you. So what this is going to do is really clean up that understory. We'll watch it for a few years, see what kind of saplings come back and what kind of plant material will come back. We hope that native vegetation will be restored in that area, and it will be a walkable, enjoyable piece of land in these woodlands in the future. This also includes, in this grant was also included the northwest section of the Dovetail Recreation Area as well, and that we're having a lot of problems with Oriental bittersweet. And if you know anything about Oriental bittersweet, it can attack a tree, grow up that tree, and pull down a tree within a matter of a few years of noticing around the base of a tree. So it's very prolific, very fast, and very invasive. So we want to get, and in that particular area of Coralville, we're having a lot of problems with Oriental bittersweet. So we want to use that money to address that area as well. And that will be killing off those vines, cutting them, making sure that we can get those trees down that are already affected and are beyond saving. And then also we want to educate our homeowners around there what Oriental bittersweet looks like to save their own trees on their own property.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then this will also allow you to start the master plan in the west area
Yes.
once you get this cleaned up.
Yes, we will. So we're hoping to move pretty quickly on this grant so that we can have this money under contract by the middle of December, be able to bid this project at the beginning of January, and have this undergoing in February and March. We want to do this work. It's best done when it's frozen outside, but not too much snow on the ground. So we're really hoping that Mother Nature will help us with that this year. And then we'll start on master planning in the spring when we can get people out there to walk the area and to really see the beauty of it. It takes a little imagination right now as you crawl through there and get to some really cool points of it. So we want to be able to show everybody that.
Cool.
Thank you, Sherry. And then I just wanted to, talk about the next week. We're very proud to be hosting the Iowa High School Girls Volleyball tournament. That is a great thing for our community. There'll be over 30,000 people here for those events from Monday through Thursday of next week. The Iowa City Coralville Convention Visitors Bureau has put together a really great package of events and activities and signage and welcoming opportunities for those people coming to the tournament. There's a lot of ways that people can volunteer to help, from everything from driving a shuttle to just welcoming them at the front door, and some other things as well. So if anybody out there is interested in helping, it can be as short as a couple hours, or you can work through the whole tournament. So just encourage people to reach out to the Convention and Visitors Bureau if you're able to help with that. And that's all I have this time, Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much. Mayor's report, I have just a few things. So I want to start by just reminding folks, Halloween is just around the corner, and next Monday we will have trick-or-treating from 5:30 p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. So just make sure that you are keeping your eyes peeled for kids and families. Hopefully we have really nice weather so we can have a lot of people out and about. Halloween, I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays, so I'm very excited. Also, I wanted to talk about early voting. It's happening now, and there will be early voting at the Coralville Public Library on November 5th and 6th. There's also early voting at the Johnson County Auditor's Office. You can go to the county website to learn more about that. There's the drive-through voting, which is really fantastic. You don't even have to get out of your car, and they really have a seamless operation. So just want to encourage everybody to take part in that. We're also offering free bus rides on Election Day to make it easier for our community to vote. Also wanted to let people know that we have several board and commission openings right now. The due date for those applications is Wednesday, November 23rd at 5:00 p.m. So this is a really great way to get involved on a local board or commission. And I always say the boards and commissions are very important because they have a real impact on the programming and, you know, shaping the direction of our community. So I would encourage people to apply. You can go to the city's website to find those applications. And then last but not least, I just wanted to say congratulations to my friend and colleague, Mayor Bruce Teague, and his new husband, Colton. They got married this weekend, and it was such a fun ceremony, really just heartwarming to see them, their joy and their happiness, and I wish them all the best as they build their life together. And that is all I have. City Attorney's report.
I have an item that kind of startled me this morning in court. I'll pass on. It was not the Coralville Police Department, it was the State of Iowa troopers. The charge, as I was listening, 127 miles an hour in Iowa City. And then went on to say a little later it was on a motorcycle that this young man was trying out. Cost him $1,100 and some dollars, and 1 year loss of license and a few other things. But I just heard parts of it as it went on, and finally when the motorcycle come on, I thought, oh boy. That's all I have, Kevin.
Oh, just wanted to remind people that I went to the Heartlanders game on Saturday night. I was out of town on Friday night, but they are back in action on Sunday, November 6th. They're on the road for a little bit the first part of the season. Obviously, we have events at the arena, so but they are it's a fun place to go to have some entertainment and, you know, see a couple fights and, you know, have some fun. So.
All right, thank you very much. Committee and council members report. We'll start down at this end with Councilmember Goodrich.
Thank you, Kevin, for mentioning that. I was going to mention the hockey team also, but and that's where the fights are. There's also University of Iowa volleyball.
Yep.
And
No fights there.
I don't think so. And there's still tickets available for The Price is Right. That's this Friday night. So lots to enjoy down at the Extreme Arena. I want to thank the engineering and streets and whoever else has been so good with the clear signage about the work being done, closing sidewalks and streets in Coralville. I think you've really done a good job of alerting us to those closures. And also the cemetery walk and stories will be this Sunday, the 30th. It's 1 hour. You can go at 3 o'clock, 4, or 5 o'clock, and that's at the Coralville Oakdale Cemetery. And you can find more information on this on the Coralville website, coralville.org. And then at the top, you can tap on the green box that says 150th celebration. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Councilmember Jones.
All my items have been discussed, so I have nothing else tonight.
Okay, good deal. Councilmember Nguyen.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items tonight. So the Children Museum, which is located right out in the mall, they have what is called is Museum for Everyone. So that means that anyone, for whatever reason, have a barrier that cannot pay the admission to the museum, they can just show up to the front desk and tell the staff that they qualify for the Museum for Everyone program, and they get free admission. No question asked, no documentation needed. Along with that, in the celebration of 150 years of Coralville, the Dewatering Museum is hosting an event that called Celebration of Coralville on Friday, November 11, from 6 to 8. And it's an event in collaboration with the Food Pantry and Community Foundation of Johnson County to celebrate community in Coralville. It's $1 admission, which is very, very reasonable and affordable, but additional donation is accepted. So I would encourage everybody to come out and check out the Dewatering Museum if you haven't had a chance. And if for some reason you can't afford that, please let the staff know that you qualify for the museum for everyone, and check them out. So WIC Clinic have a new clinic here in Coralville, and it will take place every 4th Tuesday of the month at the Coralville United Methodist Church from 9:30 to 4 p.m. And actually today is the first clinic that took place. Good news is that every single appointment was filled. Bad news is that there was more people that looking for appointment slot in order to get that type of service in our community. So we are all the agency involved hoping to work out, a place and a time where WIC can bring more services to Coralville, and hoping that it can have one more in the Coralville Public Library. I will have more to report once that is up and going. And United Way of Johnson County have bookcases that is available for any student is in need of a bookcase in our community. If you have a student at home that need bookcase, please reach out to either the food pantry or United Way themselves, or even the library, and we get you hooked up with a bookcase. And that's all I have.
Awesome, thank you. I'm really excited about the WIC clinic, and I had heard the same thing, that it was a steady stream the whole day in and out of that first clinic. That's very exciting. All right, Councilmember Gross.
Literally everything I was going to say has been said, so kudos to my colleagues. I won't waste time and repeat.
All right. Last but not least, Councilmember Knudsen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to start by warning our residents with the volleyball tournament coming next week. It might not be a good time to shop at Lululemon.
Or maybe it's the best time.
It'll be packed. Had an opportunity last weekend to volunteer at Houses into Homes, delivered beds and furniture to 7 needy families and residences, several in Coralville, but throughout the county. Great experience. Encourage everybody who gets the opportunity. Just hope there's some young guys there that can carry the big stuff up, because it can be a fair amount of work, but it is kind of a great experience to gather with like-minded people and help people out. The other thing I want to emphasize, we have 2 weeks to vote, as Mayor said. I want to just emphasize Amendment 1 is a very important bill, and encourage you to vote no on Amendment 1 if you value the safety of your community and the safety of police officers within the state. No on Amendment 1, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Fantastic. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Huynh, seconded by?
Second.
Nobody wants to. Second, okay, like you all want to keep going? All right, we can keep going. No. Seconded by Jones. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right. Meeting is adjourned.